Peace and blessings. This is Lisa Marie. I hope you are perfect, whole, and complete. Good evening. So, you might be with me to do my evening thing where I close the curtains, probably light an incense, maybe a candle. But really, I wanted to show you a bit around the space, at least this room, and the things that I still want to do, and maybe the other room as well. So, first of all, welcome. I don't have my tripod, it broke. It broke the part that holds the phone. That part is broken. I'm hoping I could just replace that part and not the whole tripod because the rest of it is great. And this is what happens. So the rest of it is great. That's the only part that's not so great. So we got to pray that that's all it is, and I don't have to buy a whole new tripod because it would be a shame to have to do that. So I'm gonna take this to one of the local stores and see what happens. But we're gonna turn around. I got it in horizontal so you can see everything. And it is evening, so like I said, we'll turn on the lights when needed. Most probably soon. I'm getting a natural light right now. But let's sit over here and let's talk about things that we have to do because of different things, different reasons. So the thing that I still, thank you for the thumbs up right away. So the thing that I still like want to do, have to do, and must do is the Kwame and Nkrumah. I told the plumber, well, let me tell you who, he's the plumber today. He's supposed to be coming today. We hope he comes this evening. If not, we'll see, right? When he comes. But the plumber is the carpenter, is the painter, okay? So I'll call him the carpenter when it comes to this work. So I already told him that I need him to bring his hammer because I want Kwame Nkrumah. That's Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president. I want his picture to be above the door. It would be perfect. He's Ghana's first president. I'm in Ghana. So I still haven't done that. Plus, if I can have that done, then I'll know what I will see this space and this space open, and then it just makes me start thinking about what I want to fill it with. I got some ideas. There's these black and white masks that I absolutely love. They're oblong and they're really dope. And I could put one there and one there. Or I don't know, I kind of think about maybe putting that same mask just on this wall and not doing a picture on this wall since we got pictures on every wall. Maybe not doing a mask there. But I can't tell until this is out. It bothers me because you know why? It feels uneven. My mind, it's not good. I can't do that. So that's a problem. So when the carpenter comes, we're gonna have him do that. Now let's go over here to this wall. Taking the paint off and on in the paint, I don't know. This is a new paint that I tried or I used, and it comes off a lot easier when anything even scrapes near it. But this happened from taking the thing in and out. So I want these. Eric is coming, my painter. Even though the carpenter could do it. Let me see who comes first. So now we gotta cover the holes and fill the holes. And then I need this painted over because that doesn't look good to me. So let me see, was there some here too? No, I think it's just this one. So that's a problem. And then it's here too. Everything that scrapes. This is more scraping. I don't know about this paint. They say, it's the good paint, semi-gloss, and you're supposed to be able to just wipe it off if something get dirty. Yeah, but not the paint. So either Eric wasn't used to working with this paint. I'm not saying that that's true. See it all here. I'm saying it's a possibility. So he didn't put as many coats because I bet it went on in such a different way than the other paint they use, which is the emulsion, which is water paint, basically, water-based. And I think that he wasn't quite used to it. So this green wasn't coming to black. Well, yeah, because I wasn't scraping anything on it. So I don't like that. You can't move anything against it. Hey, Sharon Yates. I don't like that. So I want Eric and or Mr. Plumber. They call him Plumber, so they say Plumber. But Mr. Plumber, Carpenter, and Painter. That's the one that just saw. His name is Kofi. He's a nice guy, but yeah. So I need him or somebody to fill the holes in. They can both do it, either one of them, and repaint that so that we can make it look pretty. Okay, so there's that. So we got Kwame Nkrumah got to move over here. We got to fix the paint that was messy. And the other thing is in this room, let me just see. I think, oh, and like I said, decide on what's going to go on this wall. I'm thinking a mask. Because there's this map saying it's oblong and it's black and white, which would be so nice against this black and white lamp, but it has some red somewhere in it. So I think that would be so dope. Hey, Shanika. I'm on a roll today, y'all. I think that would be so dope. So that's really it in this room. Um, yeah, that's really it in this room. So then, and then more or less, it'll stay that way. Yeah, it'll stay that way, more or less. I got to do something else with this, putting the nail in the art, in the, yeah. Because that's what we did. What if I want to change the art around? Now I gotta take it off, and there's gonna be a hole in the wall, and then I gotta fix that. I don't want to keep doing that. Luckily for me, do I change artwork around a lot? I do change it sometimes when I was in the other place. So there's that. Like I just, y'all, it's a lot to work with, but we are grateful and thankful, and we know that, the perfect people will come. Now I admit that I used to have people on these walls trying to put artwork in, and they could never even get the nail in the wall. These are heavily cemented wall, and they couldn't get and they got cement nails and everything. They just couldn't even do it. So my artwork would be falling off a lot. I don't know where to find command hooks. I'm gonna look in Malcolm and see if they have it. I'm gonna see if they have it. Cause I gotta look for the heavy duty command hooks. I gotta see, cause I know I keep hearing that. But let me look for, cause I can't say I looked for them. I never seen them, but I can't say that I looked for them. So I'm gonna look. I'm gonna go to the Malcolm, the big one, cause I know the small ones wouldn't have it, but the big one. Here everything is supply and demand. So, in all honesty, it's not a big put art on the wall place. I've noticed all the houses I went to, that's not what people actually do. But I know that they got a solution, like you said, and I'm sure that the Malcolm that I'm thinking about that's big, I bet they would have it. So I'm gonna go look for them. And a lot of this, like you said, don't even need, like, that's light. That's light. All of these are light. Now the one in back of me is definitely heavy. So it's just, yeah, it's ridiculous. And then once the holes are in there, like they already in there too now. It's just dumb. It's not cool, and it don't make sense. And you can't, like, to them you would think that they would know, like, why would you, even though I remember the ex even said, why is he putting the holes in the thing? Like, figure out another way. Like, but I always it'd be an act of God to get the nails in. Most of them can't do it. And at least he could do it, but since I don't understand, because I look at him, I say, well, if you could get the nail in the wall, then we could hang the thing. But he too looks at the back, and because it doesn't have like a rope, he figured, well, how are we going to hang it? Because he's probably right, just trying to hang it from the frame itself. It's not going to be steady. And he's right, if I put ropes on everything, I think he would feel better. And next time maybe I'll just do that. So that you can just put it on the thing. And if he can get the nail in far, which I know he can because he's good at it, you see that, then we could do it. So I'll test him. I'll test his ability on the next one. Your space looks so peaceful, warm, artsy, full of wisdom and spirituality and joy. It's a reflection of you. Thank you, S. James. I'm telling you, you described it perfect. It feels like all of that and more. Like, you described it perfectly. Like, I just love it. I just love it. And it's all of what you said, and it gives me that vibe, and I thank you for noticing. So, okay, I remember some other things. So let me tell you something else I gotta do. I gotta this is the big one, the electrician. This is the next step. So after the plumber comes and finishes his job today, or whenever he comes, not even after. Tomorrow I'm gonna call the landlady because I got 2 fans from the other apartments, and they're just sitting in the closet. They need to come out and get on the wall. I want one to go in the kitchen because the kitchen, when you cook, it gets hot, and there's no fan. So I got one for the kitchen, and the second one I want right here. I want 2 because this fan is doing this, but if you're over there, you don't get as much. So I'm gonna put a second one. So, but I called the electrician, And he was saying that we got to see if there's a beam that it can connect to. He can just go on the roof and look at that, and just get the permission from the landlady, because he has to rewire in the kitchen. There's no setup for the fan, so he has to rewire, and he needs the permission of the landlady to rewire. So that's happening, okay, y'all? So fan in the kitchen, another fan in here. This right here is this one. This one right here, this lamp, it's just a piece, this little piece, they all can do it. And it just needs to be connected so I can plug it in the wall. And I got an extension cord already, because that one already is ready to plug in the wall on extension cord. Because we want the lamps on. So little tiny stuff, but we'll see how it goes. Now let's talk about the bigger little stuff. Absolutely, we're going to have to get another a thick cushion, like on the other chair that's inside and the other couch that I used to have, that's in Hohoy now. This, and especially the one I'm sitting on, child. The one I'm sitting on, I know what you mean about the holes. After adjusting photos, I'm decorating too, and there can be a lot. Yes, exactly. It's ridiculous. So, but luckily, you could put the caulk stuff in. That's how they do it, and then it's back, and then you paint. But that's a lot, right? But yeah, these cushions have seen better days, and these are better than this one. This bamboo that's that's in between the can. I might as well just sitting on the bamboo. The thing is, y'all, get ready, because it's gonna be a big change. And these the way this thing be changing. It's gonna be a big change, and I'll tell you why. I'm gonna show y'all the change. Now let's get the pillows back to the norm. So once I change, so let me show you the cushions and how thick the cushions can be. And it fits so much better. This is the cushion, same people that made it, but this is the cushions now, very thick. Look how thick it is. And the one for the bed is too. I need these. These never came like that. I've had these for 6 years. So these are too thin and they'll hurt your butt and you're not gonna like it. I'm not gonna like it. The guests are not gonna like it. So I have to, see, this kitchen's so hot. Like I got dishes, but I can't do it yet. I gotta wait. So I have to once I get the cushions though, I can't use the pillowcases anymore, the cushion covers, because they won't be able to fit the thicker cushions. Think about that, y'all. That's fine. I mean, I really enjoy this color, but now it just helps me, starts me thinking on, well, what, I got to go to the fabric store, and I got to go feel what I think I want. I keep thinking, my mind keeps thinking that I want a green solid, just to have that vibe too, because I don't think I've ever did a solid. I don't think I ever did a solid cushion print. I think that would be so nice. So a green solid, and over here maybe a red one, or all green. I don't have a problem with all green. This green, but this breaks it up right here, so it still would be nice. Even some pictures that are not too heavy, you can sometimes use double-sided tape. That would be nice too. Now I have, this one's too heavy. You see it's got a lot of tape on it, but it fell off. And I had another one, and it's in the kitchen. You can see the tape on the back. Child, them things slid right off. And they're supposed to be, when I went to get them at the store, they said that they were picture tape, just for pictures. And they didn't seem that heavy. Y'all, we get a lot of cheap stuff here, but I know that there's a higher end store, and I just got to find a higher end store. That's what I'm thinking. I just got to find a higher end store to get the best stuff. So this is the thing. This is how they told me, and it makes so much sense. So you know how, I think it's a good little thing. You know how the United States gets made in China stuff? Okay, well, Ghana and China, I mean, they in bed together, right? So everything here is made in China too. But because the people don't have as much, they get the cheaper made in China stuff. I know, you're actually getting better quality made in China stuff because you're going to pay more money for the made in China stuff there. Here, the people could afford only a certain thing. So like anything almost here made in China is garbage. So you got to go to a better store that know that people can afford it, and so you'll have that. The other thing is about supply and demand. That is a big one, and that's something. If it's not a big demand, like people are needing stuff to put pictures up, They not gonna even have it. Command hooks would be good if they could sell it. And y'all understand that. No, no, and I know Shanika, you are a vendor. So you're not gonna sell, Santa Claus hats at a, natural, holistic fair. Nobody wants that, unless they're made from something. So there's no real demand for command hooks. That's why they don't have it. So you got to go to a specialty shop. I'm gonna find it though. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna find it or some other place in order to do it. But it's a good question. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in that it's not. It's like home decor is. I still think it's fairly new. Again, I really want to say about Afrocentric home design. Home design here, when people get money, it's very clean, very beige, very neutral. The pictures are not even real forms of people. It's not people. It's definitely Africans. Maybe some flowers. You know what I'm saying? It's very, and yes, I'm sure though they are getting the best carpenter that's getting that bad boy on the wall perfectly. Don't even get me wrong. There we go. So I know they got big, but it's so the idea of so much artwork on the wall this is still very unique. Very unique. It's not common. Because I'm in Africa, and it's too bad too. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of too bad. Hey, good morning, Miss Cheyenne. It's too bad when you think about it. But I have noticed, I said over since the last, within the 6 years, but not the first, the second, or third year. Like let's say last 2 years, they're now doing the curtains with African fabric. They're now doing pillows or chairs with kuba or mud cloth. But I promise they're now doing robes in there. There was none of that. Napkins, none of that, even 6 years ago. So we really, in some ways, and I don't want to say they'll never give us the credit for that part, but we kind of, as African Americans or Africans in the diaspora, we're the ones that really brought Africa as far as decor in a space to be more common. Because even if your home, like right now, somebody's home, it may not be all like Afrocentric decor like mine, but you got elements of it. And that's something that you didn't really see here, but it's changing, and we helping to change. We're helping to change. This beautiful picture, love her. She's gonna go right here, so she still has to go on the wall. And everything else in here is fine. I don't actually want a lot. Like I always keep saying, this room, we're here for the comfort, okay? We're here for the cutesy, pinky, green line, lightness, and beauty. We're here for it. So, but I'm going to look for command hooks. I'm going to go to this particular one. It's in a city called Achimota. And that place, that Malcolm, is big, and it caters to people that might have a little more, and it just has so much variety. And I know, matter of fact, I'm going to say I know that they have it. So I will definitely look for it, okay? Yeah, and then we'll see how they work. So yeah, we'll definitely look for it. And I wonder here, I was wondering when I said the other little sticky, I could even show you, that big one totally fell. This one, and it had said that it actually was for, hanging pictures. You can see the tape is still there. Fell off in no time. And I'm telling y'all, you can see me holding one hand. This is not that heavy. So I figure the stuff was cheap. You get it? And then, of course, I was really foolish. I tried to, as you see on the back of this one, I tried to put it on that one. That thing slid off. But I wondered, too, I don't know if y'all could maybe tell me, if the walls sweat, too. Remember, we're in a hot climate. So I thought about that, too. I wonder if the walls actually sweat. Or they get, you know what I'm saying? Like, do they get wet? Because that could be causing them to slide off as well. And I don't have air conditioning. I don't know. It's just like a little theory of mine. Like, I wonder. So let me go and see if they got a good one. And then I'll test it on something like this one, which is very thin. But I just don't know. I don't even mind the holes in the wall because I'm going to put on the picture on top if I switch it. Are your walls smooth or textured? They're smooth now because of this. But no, in general, they're textured. In general, you can see there. And that's not just the paint. They're textured. I'm trying to see, do I have a blank wall? I think they're textured. I can't remember. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Let me see. No, it looks a little textured. Now remember, I don't know what the house is and all that. I know people talk about our houses here are made of straight cement, straight blocks that's made of cement, from the floor to the building to everything. So that's why it's not. There's some stuff. No offense in the States, that's not really made as strong, and the walls are not made of cement. So we're right on the cement. So that's why you got to have a certain nail too. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem for me because I got 50,000 pictures that I want to put up. But I'm just saying, if this carpenter, we could clearly see he got the touch, he got the nail in. You know, I just want to hang the thing on the nail, but then he's worried that they're going to fall on you, which is, you know, that's why I let him nail that sucker to it, because I'll be like, yeah, that would be a problem. So yeah, so we'll see. We'll work it out. But that's the issue. But I try not to, you know. Now, sometimes texture wall need a different way to hang art. Oh, I'm sure, for sure. Absolutely. We just got to get somebody that knows what that way is. Y'all, I love it. I love your American mind, and I love your American questions. But ooh, you know what? Y'all would be frustrated here, because let me tell you what they would say. It's gonna. Y'all would be frustrated as heck. And Americans do come be like, well, why can't you just? And they look at you like, we're not in America. It's not the same. We don't have that available. Yeah, I think when they make the walls in the houses here, I promise you that they're not thinking about, I want to put pictures on the wall. Maybe the stuff should be made of another material. They don't even think about it. It's not a priority. It was like, what was something that I said, we'll talk about like cultural differences. Oh, I wish I could remember. I was saying, was it not wearing glasses or watering plants? So let's say in the States you might say, oh, I got to go out of town because you water my plants. And somebody, you know, if you're talking to a specific person, they're going to water the plants. It's not going to be an unusual request. All my friends, whether it's the Cape Coast, Accra, the Volta, but nobody in the Volta, forget the Volta, it's not going to happen. But and you say, oh, to a Ghanaian, like the gardener himself, oh, can you water my plants? They never will do it. They forget. It's not a practice. Okay, so let's talk about why this is not important. I think that this is a better conversation because it's necessary. Why can't they get that to water the plants? Okay. What is a plant that does not produce food? It doesn't make sense to them. The plant doesn't produce food. I'm not even going to be thinking about that damn plant. First of all, let's be in a country where water is a commodity. Water is precious. Why would you waste? This is what they would think. Makes sense to me. Why would you waste your water that we don't know when it's going to run? You done fetched it. You got real things to use it for. Why would you waste water on a plant that don't give food? They overwater it because they're used to watering stuff in the ground that actually produces food. So the idea of a house plant is coming like among the wealthier, the more educated, the richer ones, especially because it's about water. So the idea of house plants and keeping them watered, I even faced it when I was I think it was a lodge. I had like 30-something plants, and clearly I realized, oh shit, the water don't run. I got to figure out how to buy some water, and I got to buy a polythene. And when you think about the water, you got a little bit of water, and you got 35 plants, the plant's going to have to go. So some things you got to put your mind in like that kind of frame of mind. So I kind of understand. Okay, it's another thing I used to think. When I first came here, I was like, wow, a lot of Ghanaians, like in the States, you're going to at least walk down the street and somebody's going to have a pair of glasses on. Maybe it's even you, right? When I first got here, I thought Ghanaians must have the best eyesight in the world because you rarely see a Ghanaian with glasses. I thought it was the food, something they're eating. Went to the eye doctor. He said, no, they're not going to spend their money on no glasses when they can spend their money on something else, like food, like trying to get school fees. It's not a priority. It's not important. They'll make do with seeing the way they see. You get what I'm saying? And it's probably better in some ways too, right? That's just another example of things that I assume that I never in my mind that I think that it was because it was an extra expense, it wasn't important. The other thing I had to get, I couldn't understand why when the Chocho, which is the local bus, it comes and the person, there's what they call the mate. It's the guy that drives and then it's the mate. He's the one that opens the door so that the passengers get on. And he'll say, he's naming the place, Kanishi, 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 Medina, Medina, Medina. This is the destination. I thought I was so American and clever. I said, why don't they just put the name somewhere in the front or somewhere? I know it's not electric, so they say where the bus is going. And he said, because a lot of people can't read. And then what language would they put it in? There's how many different languages taught here? But my mind was thinking, it's another way of thinking. You have to actually think in a whole nother way. So sometimes too, you're asking somebody to do something that they have never ever done because they have never met an American that would ask them to put 15 paintings on the wall. It just is. It's not something that comes into. So I would have to like look for that. Talk to people that got a little more money that might do that more. Go to a store that I think might sell it. Even hire a carpenter that can do it. You know. A lot of the times, most of the carpenters that I met, and most, whether it was Accra, Cape Coast, or Ahoy, or the Volta, most of the things that I asked them to do, they did it for the first time. They have never done these certain things again, whether it was making the furniture, whether, some things too, they don't have that thing. Like we call this, I give you a perfect example, they would never, ever, ever close a charger. And what do we use a charger for? Really just for looks. It's not really, is it functioning? Is it really functioning? It's not functional. It's for the looks. This ain't no damn charger. This is what you put on top of the food so the bugs won't get on them. You gotta think like more practical. We're not practical, are we? They would never take, I remember taking the mud cloth, and the kente cloth and making it into a blanket. They think, first of all, it's expensive. Why would you sleep with that expensive thing? We roll it up, put it away, because it's used in different ways here, and it's not something you would just sleep with. And this is helping y'all to get the culture. The sieves on the wall, unheard of. They really use those sieves. Those are not decorative items. They literally use it to separate the whatever from the whatever, right? That's what they use it for. Those are not some artifact that, is kept on that grandmama used. They use it, especially in the village. That's what they use it. I'm the one that came up with, let's talk about the mats. They would never walk on mats that's a bed. You sleep on those mats. You wouldn't just lay them on the floor and everybody steps on them. So I need y'all to go with me on that one. I mean, I love these kind of conversations. These are like real conversations to me. I love them. So ask me anything, or if you have a question about anything. So it's not in their realm of understanding. They're not ignorant. It's just not common. They're actually way more sensible. So this got to make sense. If it don't make sense, they're not using it. Put it on the wall as a decoration and then have many of them, because I suggest that. But then let me say this. They love it though when they see it. They call it a real African house. They think it's clever. Eric's gonna do some things that he saw me do. He told me, so many other people saw him do that for my house. Ebenezer was impressed too. So we're exposing them to things. As I said, the idea of Afrocentricity is really coming from African diasporans outside of Africa because of the longing or the misrepresentation of blackness. So ain't no African buying no picture with no black person on the wall, not because they don't like themselves, they see themselves. I didn't even buy masks for a while because I've seen the people, it kind of was like the same, I got it, The art center would crumble if it wasn't for the foreigners. It wasn't for the foreigners, it would go under, it would go down, it would not exist. It's only us. And the things that we ask for, mud cloth pillowcases, that's what you would do with your cloth. It's unheard of. It's unheard of. So, but now it's becoming, that's why I said, we're really revolutionizing the idea of Afrocentricity. And I love that about us, you know what I'm saying? Like, I truly love that. I mean, I wear like African clothes every day, and they don't, because this is more expensive than 2 CDs. 2 CDs, that's like 2 cents. But they can buy a shirt for 2 CDs. They can buy sneakers for 10 CDs, which is $1. But they're all used. So they call it the bend down boutique. Because they bend down with the used clothes. So it's not just, you should just go get this or that. I mean, I love the idea, but I'm going to have to search a little bit. I wouldn't, when I have friends that come to America and they just say these things and I say, oh, you know what, they either don't call it that or they don't really know what that is. And so I'll have to explain it another way, or I just tell them, yo, I'll find it. Yeah, we are very, it's very, you know what I say about America, about being outside of it? We really believe, but not our fault, that we are the center of the universe. And that everything that we do, everything we have, every way we do it, everybody knows this, right? We don't come into a country knowing that, we don't even think that they don't have that, or they might not know what that is, or they don't say it like that. We don't even think, I didn't either. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't either. Like, you don't even think that. You're not being rude, you're a nice person. You were well mannered, you were raised, but there's an assumption when you don't leave America, and I mean really leave, not just go to Jamaica and stay in the resorts, which is really nice, and maybe one day I'll do that, you know. But it's a different experience when you now live in the country. So I try to learn, I even say the words that they say plumber, I say plumber. I don't correct them because that's the way they say it, you know. I get to a lot of stuff that I still, you know, but I do my best, you know, to listen and to understand that what I'm doing is unique. What I'm doing, and if, quite frankly, I mean, Afrocentricity, yes, it comes out of diaspora experience, but everybody in America ain't Afrocentric either. Every time I see a home decor, I swear, and I'm not mad at it. If that's the style, its style is beautiful. Every black home that I see on 90% of the black home decor people that's on YouTube, I swear everything is beige or black and white. Beige or black and white, I swear to God. And rarely do you see a photo of black people, unless it's their family photos. I see some of them might have one, and I don't call it like real art. It's like art that's, I got one of the pieces that's, I forget what you call that. So I feel like, just think about it, it's still not like every black person is rocking Afrocentric home, not even in America. Can you imagine here? The idea of the tie and dye curtains, and curtains, a rod, when I want a rod, they do sell rods, they're not that nice, but they wasn't that nice to me in Ross either, so it's okay. But they'll take a wire and they'll just put a curtain so that nobody could see. A curtain to them is not about decor or decorations. It's about making sure that people can't look into their house. You see the mentality? It's not a bad mentality. I'm saying, because I can get it that water to water plants that don't yield food. You put on just for decor because it looks good and put it on their plate. When it's actually could be a top to cover the food to protect it from the bugs. Like, I like what they do. It all makes sense. Why would you, the baskets, they're not just to hold food. I never actually even see them used like that. They literally use it to clean their beans or clean their rice as well. So you can use it as a sieve or a strainer as well. Yeah, that's why I said, like, I would really love, the way I want to do Afrocentricity is, like I said, the speaker, you know, the scholar, like, to really help us understand, first of all, our own kind of center of the world, like, just go get that. Just, not y'all, I'm not talking about y'all, but I'm sure I did it too. I was a little more, I spent a lot of time in Trinidad, so I kind of got trained on that one too, and I observe a lot when I go into a country. So, and remember, I'm not staying in, I don't get to stay, I never really stayed in resorts or like even a nice hotel. I went straight to the people. So I learned real fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they don't call it that, they don't have that, this is what they got, this is what we doing, you know? And it wasn't until when I grew up in America, I too, I don't know y'all, but it's a subliminal message that we are the best. I was a kid too, in a very Afrocentric home, but I went outside. Everything was America was a superpower. America was the best. But, and so we seem like the smartest and even the most intelligent, the most knowledgeable. And then when you leave and you look at America, you just look and go, what the F? Like the whole thing feels like a lie. Not that we're not super intelligent, it's just this kind of world view that I think that America has given us that really hurts us when we go other places and travel. So you gotta know that the thing you just run to the store with, the Target or whatever, we got one kind of store like that. It's called Malcolm. It's not even owned by black people. I think it's Indian owned from what I heard. It could be Lebanese, it ain't black. And no self-respecting, I would say the average Ghanaian would never go into Malcolm. The ones that's in Malcolm are going, they got money. They want the things that they can't get off the side of the road. Because they sell everything on the side of the road. Matter of fact, you don't have to go. You don't have to get out. All you got to do is drive your car. I used to love coming. This was the first time I came to Ghana. All you got to do is drive your car, and they got them. They call them hawkers. It's the people that sell the stuff. You can get your toilet paper, your dishwashing liquid, your soap powder, pillows, a blanket, right, all in the car before you get home. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Hold on one second. Let me get my pen. And then listen, y'all, don't get me wrong. I think it's intelligent to not assume that they don't have it, because that could be looked at as like, like some people, y'all got houses out there, you know what I'm saying? So I love that there's no ignorance there, but there's ignorance in other ways, I love it. Like, I love my sister and my daughter. Every time I talk about things like, oh, the water ran today, I don't blame them now, don't get me wrong. I said, oh, and I had to fetch the water. I was so glad the water was running today. I had to fetch water. It'd be like, oh my, I could not be fetching no water. I could not be fetching no water, not having no lights. I get it. I get it. I'm just trying to tell you, I ain't judging nobody. I promise y'all. But after 6 years of being here, it's a bit much. It's like, okay, y'all. Now I can't just run to the store and get that stuff. So what I try to do, my best, and I know it's good, I try to work with them. You see how nice I talk to them? I don't know if you notice, I'm very polite. I really, yes, please. I got it down. I ain't perfect now. We're not perfect, but we do our best, I really would respect them. I know the level. I compromise a lot too, if you notice, because that's like, you know what? This is not going to get done at all. If I don't do it their way right now, it's not going to get done. So I have to choose my battles too with them too. So, I'll be trying, y'all. I'll be trying. But I think if somebody asks me what is the thing that fascinates you the most, the way Americans walk through the world. It's America has it, so everybody has it. America thinks this way. America feels this way. Don't you? No. The reality is so different. But I thank y'all so much, and I'm not, insinuating. Give a thumbs up to Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. It can definitely be a cultural shock. That's right. Moving to another country. I just moved to a different state in the U.S. a few years ago, and even being in the same country, things are so different to stay. Exactly. How's the mail service there? That's a great question. And ask questions. Those questions are so helpful and important. It would be amazing to have someone, a service there that you could pay to show your pictures and that you pay for the pictures and mail them to you. That would be nice too. So mail service, great question. Let me tell you the thing I love so much about Ghana. This is going to be crazy. You're going to be like, she said this. That's a bit high. Let me just tell you. I want to say what mail services would you be talking about? But so when no compound that I lived in, up from here to Ghana, there's no mailbox. Like, you don't have a mailbox that goes to your apartment. No, I love not getting mail. no fakeness, no bills, no nothing. You don't know how great that is. Let me tell you why. But they are post offices. Now there's a post office there. There's a main post office. There's sub post office that they want. They got post office hours, and you can do things, mail, post stuff. It's called Ghana Post. It does exist. And people go there they send food to Ghanaians that miss their food. They dry the food. That's what most people are sending. I would honestly tell you that. In our center, we're sending the goods for people to go. We don't have a mail, but you can get a mail. You can go to the post office and get a PO box though. You can do that. But I love no post. I can mail and what comes. I don't want a bill. I don't want to see nothing. Okay, no. When I say no bills, I'm talking about the majority. I'm talking about the 95%, maybe the 99%, right, of Ghanaians, right. Everything is prepaid. So it's not like you're going to miss the mail that's coming in the mail that say you owe. They'll even use the internet to just send you alerts if you're postpaying. But everything's prepaid, meaning I don't use my electricity and then I get a bill for it. I buy how much I'm going to use, or what I could afford. If I could buy 20 CDs, then I'll buy 20 CDs. Making sure that it's going to run out in some time, I'll come back and put 20 more CDs on it. Everything is prepaid. You prepaid the water, the same thing. The water runs out if like not here because the landlady pays for the water, but well, what water? The water don't even damn come, but that's a whole nother story. Everything is prepaid. Everything is prepaid. So yes, now let's talk about people sending you stuff. If somebody tried to send me a phone, it got stolen at the DHL. Honey, the DHL people will steal it. Okay, as soon as it gets to Ghana, they have to list that it's a phone. Your phone will never arrive here. Don't send shit over the thing. You know what we do when we want something? We wait for somebody from the U.S. to come and bring it, especially if it's important. If it's a ATM card, a lot of time, because we live here so long, our ATM card expires. We need a new one. If it's anything, if it's a phone, if it's a computer, never use the post office service for that. Okay, they're gonna steal it. And I'm just coming real because I don't want nobody to be doing nothing like that. It's a lot to get used to. Structure and order and set prices, and we don't have that. You know, people look at it like when the Ghanaians go to America and they stay, they definitely like the structure. And if you're a very structured person, you would. I like the flexibility that a no is not a no here. If you know the right person at the right time, give them a few bucks, hey, you can get it done. And I kind of, it's a system I can't change anyway, so I don't even try, you know. So posting is very wonderful. We don't have mailboxes. So you go to a place and be like, okay, where's my mailbox key? There's no mailbox, okay. There's mailboxes at the post office, you can buy them, but that's it. That's it. It's so much. And then, like your people, like, there's no set prices, so you can ask the carpenter, well, how much are you going to charge? They always will say, well, let me do the work first. And then they'll say, you still, okay, how much you did the work? And they'll be like, oh, offer me something. And then if it ain't enough, they tell you like, oh, can you add? Can you add to it? Can you? Y'all would get frustrated because it could be frustrating. I'm not as frustrated because I know how it goes. I'm a person, I want my things done. I'm not going to wait forever because they'll tell you they're coming back. When they say, I'm coming, you call them and say, hey, you said you were coming today. Are you still coming? Oh, I'm coming right now. I'm coming right now. That does not mean right now. I swear, I need you to be literal on that. I'm coming right now, or even I'm coming could be 2, 3, or 4 days. I was so surprised. I was so confused. I didn't even understand why they said they was coming. They didn't come. They mean eventually I'll get there. Oh my God, the things. But I'm kind of used to it, so I learned. I was so impatient 6 years ago. I learned so much patience here. But you know, they got a system, and it really works, and it works for them. Like I love something about this. So let's say that I want something delivered from Hawaii. Maybe it's a store that sells rose oil or something, or anything that up there. They'll send it through the Trocho. I'll have it the same day. If I want a specialty item that's in another part of Ghana, the Trocho is the bus. They'll send it. They don't care if it's big. They don't care if it's small. They will send it through the Trocho, and you go to the station and you pick it up. So yeah, it's what they call it. developing country, and it doesn't. Yeah, it's so all these little cutesy. So don't go to decor. You putting, even though it's an African that made this, they are a calabash lamp. Do you know what they use the calabash for? You could probably guess. To hold shit, to carry water. They're practical. Money, it don't run like that. You know what I'm saying? So they don't buy bottled water. The other one, there's other little things. They wouldn't spend their money on birthday celebrations. I remember, we celebrate, like I celebrate my anniversary of how many years I've been here. We celebrate birthdays like it really means something. Sometimes they say your mother and father don't even say happy birthday. What is the deal? You ain't getting nothing for it. There's no extras for that. We don't celebrate that unless you're the rich ones that got. This is just normal life. Normal life. So, but it's beautiful. Like I love having conversations about it. I love people asking questions. What I would like to see is Americans being very much more, not so much that how are we going to be educated about a place we've never been? That's fine. You don't have to be educated about a place you've never been. Some things you can't even read. It's not in the book. You know what I'm saying? And it's not in the book that you read. But it's the idea of the assumption that, well, why don't you just go and get, and why don't you just go, and when you go to your mailbox, what mailbox? It changes you now. So before it's complained, I'm like, my God, no running water. How's a car no running water? Like, it's like the water, it's like water. It's running in that community, and now it's running over here, and now it's running over here. So everybody got big barrels, big buckets, and you fetch water when it runs, and you fill up all your buckets, because it ain't going to run no more. And it's just the honest to God truth. Unless you live in a place where you're paying American rent, and I'm not exaggerating to you, thousands of dollars per month. Something that's basic, and right, it shouldn't be extra. You shouldn't have to pay extra for the water. Now, I'm still going to say that, or your electricity. So you gotta fetch that water, child. At first you complain, remember year 1, 2, 3, 4, now 6. Now you so happy that water flowed and you got your containers to fill it up, child. You be giving thanks that the water is flowing. It's not for everybody, but unless you have if you got a good amount of money, you could live here nicely. And I don't mean it have to be a lot, a good, decent pension, because I know people, let's say the Cape Coast, a lot of pensioners or retirees are there. Their check alone is not giving them the lifestyle that they still truly want. They all got something else that they do, or maybe they got 2 or 3 checks, maybe they got military pension, because your Social Security alone, you make it, but you want to do other things, right? You want to do, and we tend to really want to live it up, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, this is called living it up that I'm doing. Having apartments. I mean, I'm probably even extreme for here. I'm extreme for here. I'm extreme for America. Having apartments, I mean, they're less expensive, a lot less. I can get 3 apartments for the price of 1. I know I can. But, it's still extreme. I'm weird all the way, y'all. I'm all the way weird, okay? And then I give everything away. So, but, yeah, I thank you for asking. So, yeah, we're going to work on this. I mean, now my dang pictures got the nails in them, so at least I'm going to always have to nail them in that spot. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. Don't get me wrong. I am going to look for the command hooks, and I'm going to look for the screws. They can put the screws on, and then we could put the wire so we could hang the pictures as well once we do it. So I promise that I'm going to take my time, but I'll be wanting this stuff done. So it's partly me too, because I'll be like, when you catch them, another thing. If you catch them today, I promise, please do get everything done at once. You will not see them for 2 or 3 weeks sometimes. You will not see them. You will not see. Lordy, in the crazy, you won't even see me like, oh no, I have people coming over. Damn. And always have more than one everything. So how do you bag? Okay, Monique, how do you bag? I didn't realize that they actually nailed it. Not he does. Not everybody does that. I want to say that. Not everybody. Most people can't even get the damn nail in the wall. So this is over. They put the nail in. The nail don't go on the wall because it's heavily cemented, right? The nail don't go on the wall, and then your picture's just dangling over there. So it's true. You should at least, if you can get the nail. Most of them can't even get the nail in the wall. It's not because they're dumb. The wall is that hard, and we're using cement nails. So it's not a lot between the paint and the cement, to be honest with you. It's no, I don't know what they call that other stuff that you put behind the stuff. It's cement. So how do you bathe? Well, the same way. You don't have to have running water to bathe, you just have to have water. Yes or no? So remember I said when the water runs, you fill up your containers. So you have a container in the bathroom, you have two, they call them bowls, and you fill it up with water. And because you got a big container over there, so you go to the container and you can bring the water, or usually they just fill the bowl up for the day. And then they use that water. So you take same way, you be clean, honey, it's still black people, ain't nobody smelling, everybody clean, and I mean that one. Here, beautiful, dressed fresh, nails, black folks, we cleaning, I mean, I have to say that. So you take the ladle and you pour it on your body, pour the water all over your body. And then you take their sponge, they call it the sponge, which is the net. So, that's why our skin is all so pretty out here. And you use the net, you put soap and the water, you can put the soap on the body, you put the soap on the net, and you scrub your nice body, and then you pour the water on top. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it is better than a shower. I know it sounds like it can't be, but it really is. You are fresh, you are clean, your body is cool. It's actually healthier to actually use room temperature water than it is to actually use hot water all the time. So it's more natural. So you take a bath, you flush your toilet, you do everything. You just use the fetch water. So you're fetching the water to use for everything, to wash the dishes. Now, what you can do though is some compounds, if they have enough room, you could buy a poly tank, right? And the poly tank is fine. Then you buy a pump, and then the plumber will come and connect the poly tank to your apartment, which is what I'm going to do. So now the water is flowing. But let me stay in this. The poly tank, you still got to buy water. So, that's another thing. You know what we do when the water don't flow for a long time and you use all your fetch water? You buy water. There's companies that come around, they bring you water. Now, like some of the names say, I don't know where the water from, but they bring you the water. And they'll bring a hose and they'll put it in. Still, you got to store it though. You still got to store it. But let's say you got a poly tank, right? And it's hooked up to your apartment because now your water is running through the pipe, right? You still got to buy that water. Okay, you got to buy it. Not just pay for water. You got to go. You got to call the people yourself. You got to find a company. There's always some. Call them, and they say they come in. That means tomorrow because they ain't gonna have it today. Just keep that in mind. And then they will fill your poly tank up. And you just got to be smart and make sure that if you know it's getting low, then you call them again. So you could have running water. And let me tell you, the poly tank, where you live, they're not paying for it. You buy the poly tank. You have to buy the pump. And then you have to pay somebody to install it. So let me not say it's not running water. It's not running water on its own per se. But it ran yesterday. It does run, but like maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not lying. So it does run, but it's not, it runs so everybody can fill up their bowls and fill up their containers and fill up whatever you got. And then other than that, they got water companies that will come and you call them and they will fill it up and you pay them. It's not really that much, to be honest, either. I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, and my daughter was a kid, but I was younger. She was a kid, and we used to watch like African cartoons. There was one called Kirikou, and I remember the big thing was water, because you never see those things where the women. That's what the calabashes are really for. They have to go down and fetch for water. Like somebody said, I was watching this. It was a white gentleman too. He was talking about why Africa is kept poor. If they had running water and they had electricity, because we are in the 21st century, we understand that this is not hard to have. But if they had that, then they wouldn't be a third world country, would they? It's the dependent on the higher ups to keep Africa poor, because they come and they strip the resources and they get it for nothing. The diamond, the cocoa, which is the chocolate, we can go on and on. The oil, everything. So it's a reason why a place that actually has their own these things that produce it, sell it and have to buy it back from the same people. It's no reason, it's not that they're not smart, they don't know how to run the water through the pipes. The water does run, but they ration the water. Now you think about that, you think about a corrupt society where the funds that would go to allocate infrastructure, when we think of that, it's not just roads, it's pipelines and things that would bring the water. That costs money, right? That costs money to do that. But if the higher ups does not allocate the money, they don't. They don't. They get a fund for that water and it goes in the pocket. And that's most countries, well, we won't even say out the red, white, and blue. Let me tell you, the red, white, and blue is just as corrupt. It's just built into the system. That's why you don't see it. Ours is so out in the open, but theirs is built in the system. There is no non-corrupt country or nation. It's corrupt too. You know, and like I said, but does it make it more affordable? Because even if you have to buy your water, get the poly tank, you only buy it once, you can take it with you, you're still paying less than you would pay for the water you're paying for when you go to the States, paying less for, you know. And in America got a lot of social programs. Some people, you live in the projects, I lived in one, you don't pay light and gas and water. You don't even think about that. We have so many subsidies. There's none here. They don't have that kind of stuff. Everything you got to work to receive. So, you know, when people ask about like the romance scamming, why men, you know, are so desperate to come to America, they want opportunities that they'll never feel like they have here. They want their children highly educated, or at least decently educated. They want structure. They want a way to make money. So when I describe you, you see the desperation level, I would say be careful, because we can talk about all of it, but we're wearing, you know, we talk about, we first come ignorant, why they don't wear African clothes? You got that made, right? First you have to buy the fabric, expensive, especially for them. Then you got to get it made, expensive. And we walk around every day with our thing because we have it like that, which it's a lot, you know? It's so layered, but it's the reality, you know, of living here and trying to navigate being American, which has some privileges, but really not. I mean, let me tell you, the Ghanaians that are rich, they are very, 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 very rich. They're very wealthy. Their children going to school in Harvard and Yale. Their children are going to the best high schools and the best colleges to get them to the best universities. They're very, very rich. It's not, so we're not rich like they are rich. But 1%, same old. So great questions. But yeah, so they bad. I want to make this very clear that black people, I love us, and very, 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 very clean. Very clean, very fresh. They take two. I take 2 baths a day, morning and night, and everybody else does too. Everybody get cleaned. Very fresh and very wonderful. Yes, ma'am. I'm aware. I asked for those who may know. That's right, Monique. Thank you. Thanks for telling the truth. Says yes. Yeah. And to me, yeah, it's not even the high. It's like a fact. But you're right. I hope you say. I think that you're right. Do you feel like, Monique? Do you feel like? And I appreciate your comments and questions. You feel like some people sugarcoat and they don't really tell people that. Yeah, that's the truth. And we're not to. What I consider playing in Accra, it's not cheap by Ghana standards. It's not. But I don't know water. I mean, the water don't run like that. Like, I fetch water at 2 in the morning because they put it on, the nerve of them. They put it on like 2 in the morning. So I got to keep the faucet up, because you can hear the water running, and keep a bucket, a bowl. Then you know the water running. So now I'm dizzy. I mean, like I said, I'm in a good sleep. I ain't getting no sleep since I've been up since 2 o'clock. So now you got to fetch, and then if you have to wait because you got everybody else in the compound, luckily everybody must have fetched another night. I must have slept through the water, and I was the only one yesterday. But I'm used to it, kind of. I am used to it. I think if I visited the States, my mind would be blown to have, and we didn't want to talk about hot running water. Now, you really got to have some money for that. But you can buy a little machine, like a water heater, that will heat the water, but that's uncommon in most houses. So, yeah, and every person I dated regular, that's what we did. We bathed and the thing, yeah, y'all, yes. Now Trinidad, did Trinidad have the hot water? I gotta ask somebody. My girl Khadijah, does Trinidad run with hot water, or is it every situation is different? Because I think Africa is the most roughest. You know what I'm saying? That I've that I've experienced. But yeah, I'm kind of used to it. Kind of. I think people are ignorant about or the workaround. It's not bad. It's just different. Yeah, I think people are, because I don't think people tell you that part when they're selling this wonderfulness. Like I said, some people are coming with money. Even the ones that got several. They got military pensions. So, but what they're doing is they're building it. So they're making sure, like, okay, so you know when I go to Hawaii, the water always runs because he installed a borehole. And the borehole is like 20,000 Ghana CDs, 24. That's like $2,500. That's a lot for people here. 20,000 Ghana. That sounds like a lot. Think about it in Ghana CDs. So they are going to, all the black Americans are build, no, they're going to build so the water will always run because they're going to have to pump, they're going to have to all go through the pipes, just like it does in Hawaii. Everything runs. But in the city, everybody having a borehole. The city, you would think it has more, but they make you pay. I think it's not right that I got to pay almost American rent if I choose to want to get hot running water or running water and the lights not out. And all the lights go out, even in the richest neighborhoods. The only difference is they got what you call those generators. So I want everybody to know, everybody's lights went out, but if you got a generator, you didn't feel it, you didn't know. Yeah, it's no more special. Now I live in a neighborhood, the lights really, really, rarely ever go out, but the water, ain't got no water. In Hawaii, I got water, but the lights are gone. Child. Yeah, it's deep. It's deep, but we, I love it. I do. I mean, when I think about it, and I think about how safe I feel as a woman walking the streets, how, yeah, you don't. If you've ever had trauma from maybe men or being violated by men, where it freaks you out to go past a group of them, you'll never feel that here. Nobody wouldn't even think of violating you like that in that way. And I mean, I'm not saying these things don't happen. I mean, and Ghana very much is a safe country. Petty crimes, nothing big. Ain't nobody shooting ever. Ain't no guns. People, they'll poison you now. Don't get me wrong, they'll poison your ass, but it's a slow death. But anyway, poison each other too. That's not right. I'm not saying it's not prevalent, because it could be, but I don't mean like it's every day. But there's so many, and because the cost of living is less, I mean, who wants to? I think our greatest stress, what keeps us from living our best life, our bestest life, is the fact that we are worried about how we're going to pay our bills, how we're going to eat. And so for diasporans, a lot of us, our basic needs are being met. We just want the extra, and so we tend to get it too. So, it's not for everybody, but like I said, I love my sister and my daughter. They clear. It's not for them. They're clear. If they can't live in certain neighborhoods, everybody can't live in East Lake. Oh, y'all, everybody can't live in the condominiums. It's only so much, and it's expensive. They make you pay. They don't even want to think about coming. They would never be fetching the water. I was out there yesterday, y'all. It was 2 a.m, maybe 3, and I'm out here it's safe, so I'm by myself and in the compound, and I'm just giving thanks that the water's flowing and how blessed I am with the water's flowing. But I also said, wow, look at my life. Like, look at me out here in Africa, in the city, fetching water, staying overnight to fill my buckets, It's like something when you 20, 30, 40, 50, I came back in my early 50s, or maybe late, I'm being 6 years, so yeah, early, that you say, wow, I never would ever think that I would be doing this, living like this. But it's not a bad thing. It's like kind of dope. Like, yo, that's what I'll be saying to myself. Like, you dope. Like, Lisa Marie, you kind of dope. Like, don't forget, like, you something. You something. This is not for everybody. And I might make it look easy, but you give thanks where you can. It's a trade-off for sure. Do you make your candles? I don't make my candles, but there are people that I buy them from, and they make them. And there's a Black American sister that sells candles at the Saturday market I go to, and that's the one I buy it from. So yeah, I love it. There's some other foreigner, another woman that makes it. I think she's Ghanaian, but I think she might have been abroad. But yeah, no, I don't do candle making, but I sure do candle buying. I am a candle buying girl. Like I love candle buying. So I love candles. I love scented candles. So yeah, it's beautiful to be honest with you. And I feel honestly, I don't remember half of the conveniences that America has. So some say you can't miss what you never had. I'll say you can't miss what you don't remember. I don't even remember. It'll be the most amazingly something that just the running hot water like all the time, and lights not cutting off unless you didn't pay your bill. And yeah, that would be something. That would be something. Um, yeah, just things working, it would be, but it's not, I don't miss it. I don't want it. I don't need it. I mean, I don't mind having it if I had it here, and I would build my own thing so I could. So that's not a problem. I would prefer to be in charge of everything. The people that build are. So the people that's building, they are building with all those things in mind. The rest of us renters, which is a lot of diasporas out in Accra renting for sure. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love the freedom of being able to go. A lot of people don't mind if you get all creative like I am. In America, they're a little more funny with that. You don't blame them. It's all about the renting and the value, right? And trying to get their money back. So, but like a lot is going on in the States. I would never know what's going on because I don't watch the news anyway. I don't really get the news. It's not like American stuff is that heavily talked about. It might be among some of the older men and people talking about it, but I will say, if one thing people ask me, is this one true? Do you feel like Ghana is peaceful? Yes. It's peaceful. It's very peaceful. I feel very blessed. Just like I said, I want to go back to as a woman walking the streets, I feel very safe. And the men are very good. I mean, cool, and I love it here. Like, if I put it all together, you know what I'm saying, break it down. If you ask me, how do you like Ghana? I would say, I love it here. Now, with that being said, could I also live somewhere else? Yes, I think because of Ghana, I could easily live somewhere else. Easily, because if you can make it here, you make it anywhere. You get New York, and I'm from New York, so that probably helped. That probably helped me a lot, but yeah, it's great. Because, let's think of this, though. I get to make my own. I get to have all my dresses made. I don't walk into, there's a few malls. I do buy some stuff, and then I always give it away because it's not cotton, but how could I not love it? I get all my stuff custom made, including my clothes, my furniture, fresh food, like everywhere, like legit fresh food, right? I can grow my own because I have land too if I want. I got more than one apartment. What a beautiful luxury. That's a luxury right there, I have to always give thanks when I think that I'm about to complain. And then when I got the art center at that time, I have access to different things and people and form great relationships. And there's ups and downs and things that don't work out. I learned my greatest lessons here, but I would not, if my family was not there, let's say everybody moved or left, I would not ever think about going back. Not because something wrong with the States, because I would never want that stress of, I gotta pay my bills. That means I gotta keep working. I might have to work a job I don't like. What if I get fired? I don't think I want that pressure. That's one. Number two, I don't like cold weather. I can't do it. I don't think I could do the cold. I think the cold would be the biggest shock to me. Don't get me wrong, it's be hot up in Africa. It's West Africa. We hot up in here. But get air conditioner, you'll be fine. I really do mean that. You'll be just fine. I don't want to worry about food and shelter and clothing. And even in the States, yes, it's basic needs, but it's not promised to all. It's not equally distributed. It's not a given. Still got to pay for it. It's not like they saying, oh, your lights be off too. That means you ain't paying, right? You know? So I'm blessed. I'm blessed. So anything wise about Africa, but just know there's a lot they don't have. And when they start getting the things that we want, it's because it's supply and demand. We're demanding it, and there's a market for it. So therefore, they'll sell it. If there ain't a market, they ain't selling. Y'all know how it go. Y'all know how it go. I love Senegal. Senegal, I would definitely, that car sounds so dope. I would love, eventually I will. I would love to visit. I don't know, yeah, you know me, I'll be, I'll be a little honest there. And that's why I was like, well, what about after Ghana? Like, would you go to the thing about going to move to another African country? I'll be like, nah, I'm counting it out. I'm counting it out, but somebody told me that it was a Ghanaian, that I lived here so long that he said, if you went to Nigeria, you went to Senegal, you went to especially other West African countries, it wouldn't feel all that different, even though it does. There's still some basic things. So with all that being said about, I'm glad to be in Ghana and I love Ghana, I would love to travel to other countries. Like, I would love to see something other than the African way too. I want to go, and I would even, I'm more open to any country. I'm not those black people that limit. Maybe I would have thought about that before, like only Africa, yo. I'm not that person. I would go to Europe in the summertime. Just sorry, it's got to be warm. And other Asia and all the other countries. But what I wonder, and I'll see, I wonder if I travel to another continent even, would I miss Africa? Like, I only way I'm gonna know if I would go somewhere else. So yeah, other African countries, it all sounds amazing and wonderful and beautiful. Well, I think I miss more. I think I miss connection a little bit, but that's my personality too. You know, because I'm not in the expat community. Yeah, I'm not in the expat community, so you know how that go. So you're kind of a little bit isolated. Not a little bit, but you walk outside, something's going on, you know. But what I would like is, I still feel part of the world, and the country I was born is in a situation hurting other people, and that bothers me more than anything. And I don't think like, oh, I'm away from all that, I don't have to deal with that. I really feel like, what are y'all doing? What are we doing? Like, this is not cool, So I still feel stuff, and that's my people over there, right? But I think that if I was to go back home, it would be a reverse culture shock. I probably would want to run back here. Even with all this modern conveniences, I think that it would be too much for me. Yeah, I think it would be too much stimuli. I think it would be, I don't know. Maybe I like those people. I'm sorry, y'all. Please excuse me if I say something, I'm going to be ignorant now. But when I used to watch, because I stopped watching those things, like the shorts, let's say the shorts of like on YouTube, and I swear, am I wrong? America seems kind of violent, and this place is just not violent like that. Like, I just don't want to feel like, I don't want to be slipping. Like, I don't want to be thinking I could walk through anywhere, any neighborhood. Like, just don't want to be slipping, because you could walk through the ghetto, and if you're still decent, nobody gonna bother you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to be slipping like that, I feel like I don't like tension. And it feels like America, this feels like it has a lot of tension. And I don't like that. I don't like, it's not very villagey, and I think here it kind of is, and there's a lot of politeness here too, and like ways you have to even address people, and how everybody call me mommy because I'm older, and it's like I don't know if I could get used to that. Those super tall buildings, you don't get a lot of that here. Like that would be too much for me. I think it would just all be, and people rushing too. That would be a lot for me as well. I don't know if my spirit would be able to do such a country like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't, so I don't know if it's violent. Y'all can tell me if it's, I mean, it's probably violence everywhere, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for being honest. It's just, it's a lot. And then the addicts and just, I couldn't do all that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I know. I don't want my head being on swivel because I don't have that here. Like I said, I probably got to toughen up a little before I go and get used to it because I'm not used to living like that, you know. And then definitely, you're not gonna have that discrimination in the same way of color because everybody's the same color. So I don't know how that would feel too, you know. I just don't. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it, but. Do I think I'm gonna live in Ghana all of my life, rest of my life? I know me, I'm very unpredictable and very spontaneous. You know, I meet the right person, we'd be somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have no problem, y'all. I would have no problem. But I do have to say, Ghana does, like I ain't know this now, but Ghana kind of gets under your skin. I do feel like Ghana's my home, and at least now it's my home base, or Africa is. So there's things about the States that when I think about it, I want it. Like I want the best life in the States if I go. I want the best. I want to live in a nice warm state. I want to have the best of everything, you know. And the best of everything is simple. Like the life I had right before I left, that was a pretty good life. You know, the townhouse, the nice car, nice neighborhood. You know, I want that. But I'm pretty Ghana now. Like whatever that looks like, being a diasporan, Ghana. Because Ghana be like, girl, not with them dresses you wear every day. You is more than Ghana. But you like my dress? I love this dress. I think this dress goes with the wall, the whole house. And you know what's funny about this dress and yesterday's dress, and yesterday's outfit, whatever that was. But it was one of the other outfits. It was another dress I wore. I wish I could remember. Oh yeah, I know. That was in the giveaway bag. That was in the giveaway basket. This was in the giveaway basket. Yeah, I'm just, I don't know what was going on. I got a whole basket over there. Let's go look at it. It'll be fun. Then we can close. Let me show you this basket, y'all. Oh, right, because I got a little schedule I'm supposed to be on. But let me show you this basket, y'all. Okay, so this is the stuff that I was like, you know, I don't think I want this anymore. You're going to laugh, be like, girl, I think, you know, I moved on. Where's the door? There it is. I'm moving on. And then I'd be like, girl, is you out here? What was you thinking? What was you thinking? Let's look at the clothes that I felt like. And this and the dress yesterday was in it. It was like, this one is, I know, both of them are thinking. And it's a pantsuit too. And of course it's off the shoulder because y'all know I like that. And it's got pockets and it's got no side, no belt. This is the basket. This is called the giveaway basket. Like, I'm starting to rethink my entire life again. Like I bought them, I like them. There's another one. Very nice style. Now that my house is the way I want it to be, and I love it. And when I wear these dresses here, forget jeans. You see me wearing jeans, that is the most ridiculous thing I could do. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on that one. You wear these dresses, you just feel alive. The wind blows through. You feel more feminine. This is dope. Like what's the problem? The whole back out. Got the little collar thing. I love this. Like, what's the problem? What's the problem? It's not going. And then my village dresses. Like, I actually designed these. And with some nice heels or even pumps, this is high five. Yeah, it's embarrassing. I'm a little embarrassed. And the other dress yesterday was in it. Then I pulled that out and said, girl, what you think? My other one. And these are the ones I designed. And this black and white is dope. Because I know I don't wear, but this black and white is dope. That would look nice in this apartment under that picture over there. It's the same as that colorful one. And I look good in it too. This is all the child out. I got it downsized, perfectly made outfits. And I made it. That's the part. And this one, I know because these are producing it. I literally never wore this outside. I only wore it in the house once. And I was like, oops. So this one reason I thought it gotta go is the fabric. The rest of this is all cotton. And so you can get a little spoiled here. And I'm really finding myself and making sure that I give thanks and I'm grateful and I'm appreciative. And I got so many dresses. Y'all don't see my clothes. That's why I can't really be buying no more clothes. Gotta stop. And I will. Buying clothes and I got all these clothes. And I bought all these too, with my own money that I worked for. So once I came to my senses, which I did, they're not going anywhere. I'll be wearing each one of those, and you will see it. But it's funny, since I got this apartment together, I love my dresses. I love walking out the door. I love wearing them. I love that they go with the house. I absolutely love them. So anyway, I'm going to go. We had a great conversation, and it was so necessary. Oh, these are beautiful. Thank you, Monique. Monique, girl, help me out, child. So I'm really just in a state of gratitude. Really checking myself, like even like thinking, oh, I just bought these. I don't need them. Like, they're gorgeous. There's nothing wrong with them, and they really are. Because I wear my dresses once, and then they go in the dirty clothes hamper and they get washed. So like they're not very used. So yeah, we are grateful. I know all day. I've been on sometimes the energy runs through me where I just gotta do video, and then I'll be pooped. So yeah, I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna go do those dishes. I'm gonna drink some coconut water. And that's another thing. Well, your coconut water in the States, you gotta buy it from a store that sells it, and it's a container like this big, I know, and it's expensive. I'm getting coconut water. I'm getting, what is that? Maybe that's about 32 ounces, the bottle. I'm gonna say about that if I remember it correctly. And I'm paying $3. They put it in dollars. And there they think I'm crazy. I go buy 2 a day. And it's from the coconut. And I just get it, put it in the bottle, and take it home. I'm blessed. That's the blessing we're talking about. So it's so many small things. It's like, wealth is about what matters to you. My food, where I live, and kind of my clothing, like that's important to me, and my design. And so I'm very grateful, and I'm grateful to you all as well. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to go do these dishes and charge my phone, and I'll see y'all in the next one. And ask questions. I love answering them. Peace and blessings.